The Florida Keys are a favorite tourist destination. Its fishing, warm weather beaches, and marine life together comprise a multi-million-dollar industry. But the changes taking place beneath the waters threaten the industry. Margaret Miller is a coral reef researcher at the National Marine Fisheries Service.
For the Florida Keys reefs overall, the live coral cover has diminished by, say, 50 to 80% in the past 10 years.
Many factors have influenced the decline of the coral reef, including pollution, climate change, coastal developments like housing and shopping centers, and overfishing. Miller says all those factors leave coral reefs weak and unable to recover from illnesses that scientists do not yet know how to cure. Sadly, she adds, studying coral populations during the last decade have meant watching them die.
Corals are very susceptible to warming temperatures because their sort of lethal temperature and their happy normal temperature are very close, only separated by a couple of degrees.
Miller says coral reefs are not only beautiful, but extremely important. She says they protect coastlines from storms and serve as habitat and breeding ground for several hundred species of fish. She and her team are involved in coral restoration and reproduction, but corals can take years to grow.
We've been able to settle and outplant many of these tiny baby corals, but the survivorship of them has been very, very small.
Scientists agree that with the rapid growing population in Florida and nearly 1 million recreational boats on its coast, coral reef recovery is very difficult. University of Miami marine professor Jerry Alt has studied marine life in the region for more than a decade.
Research has discovered that about 70% of all the snapper grouper complex in the Florida Keys reef system population levels are below those sizes considered sustainable.
Professor Alt says there is an urgent need to rebuild fish populations, and to do so, he says, it is necessary to restore the marine habitat and balance now in order to have fisheries in the future. Professor Alt says that in many ways, the Florida Keys are a victim of their own success.
Everybody loves Florida because of the marine environment. That's why folks came here to fish and to dive and to, take advantage of it. But we're loving it to death.
For producer Zulima Palacio, this is Mary Motta for VOA News in Washington.